Meghan McCain deviating from the question, and Whoopi is frustrated. There's definitely hypocrisy on both sides of the aisle between the inconsistencies from both sides of the aisle. So, it's like I said, it's not a Republican problem. It's not a Democratic problem. I wish people on both sides will just stop politicizing this crisis, this world issue, this global issue that we're in, and just start just acting like adults and setting examples for, people who are kids, people who are trying to, just to live life, and just set an example as a person who is supposed to take their own leadership, whether you are a local politician or whether you are a president of the United States of America, the mayor, the governor, whoever, parish president, whatever, parish county, whatever. Like, it's insane, and it's crazy that, I don't see this getting better anytime soon, unfortunately. Hi, welcome to JOA. If new to my channel, click that subscribe button up here. Click it. Well, it's down below, but follow that. Subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe to my second channel, JOA TV, as well. Yes, I'm going to advertise Patreon on my platform that I built over the past, almost 5 years, going on October 16, 2021, my platform. Patreon.com/JOA. I'd really appreciate the support. And if you are a business out there and you are looking for YouTube promotions, an established business, don't come with the BS with the YouTube. I'm a YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. JOAmedia1@gmail.com. JOAmedia1@gmail.com. Watch this clip, and I got some stuff to say about this topic, okay?
Well, Meghan, how do you feel about people saying, well, we'll leave it to these people or these people, whoever? Shouldn't everybody's public health matter and the safety of everyone, particularly little kids who can't get the vaccine yet?
Look, this is all really confusing, and I think most average Americans are. In Chicago, you can have Lollapalooza festival go on with what looks like around 20,000 or more people going to a festival in concert. I have friends who were just in Las Vegas seeing the Chainsmokers at giant concerts. Like, this life is going on. You have Muriel Bowser here in Washington, D.C. putting the mask mandate in order, but not before she partied with Dave Chappelle and then went to a private indoor birthday party with a ton of people and no masks. Americans are very wary of our institutions. We're very wary of our leaders, and there's not a lot of trust left. So I think people have just felt like they don't know what to believe and they don't know what to do, because so many of our leaders throughout this pandemic have said for Americans to do one thing and then done something completely different. When it comes to Florida and not allowing the mask mandate, this morning you had Mayor de Blasio in New York City do a vaccine passport in all of New York City for the first time ever in our country's history. So if you want to go indoors in a restaurant or a business, you're going to have to show proof that you've been vaccinated or sign up for an app. Now, I know it's easy to say that it's just Trump supporters and Republicans that aren't getting vaccinated, but in New York City, only 35% of Black Americans have been vaccinated, only 48% of Hispanics and 48% of white people in New York City, which is a place that should, in theory, if it's so liberal and it's only Republicans that aren't getting the vaccine, that they should be vaccinated as well. And what you're facing right now is forcing businesses to choose between their business and their livelihood, and protecting people in a virus that, if you're vaccinated, has been proven that you have a 99.9% chance of surviving. And what I think is interesting is Mayor de Blasio is putting people in a position where you are going to turn away Black Americans at a higher rate than you are other races because of this vaccine passport. We are entering into science fiction civil liberties territory. I feel like the conundrum we're facing right now are literally something out of an ethical class in college or something out of a science fiction movie. We are already seeing people rioting in France, in Australia, over issues like this about vaccine passports. And I think, much like what happened in Europe with the virus will inevitably come here, I think we are about to see a lot of civil unrest about these vaccine passports and about mask mandates and about where we're heading, unfortunately, going forward.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the original question, which is really about schools. So you've got 3 kids in school, Sarah, or maybe not all 3 are in school, but how are you? This isn't about anything but masks on kids in schools.
Well, like many.
What's your take on it?
So I'm going to deviate from the topic a little bit, and then I'm going to go back into the topic because this is personal for me. Governor Ron DeSantis is just a wannabe Trump. He is a Muppet puppet, a clown hound to Donald Trump. It's personal for me because Florida personally is where I'm from. It's my home state. And unfortunately, it's a red state. It's a Republican state. And so Governor DeSantis, I'm just calling him DeSantis, doesn't deserve the title governor. Actually, there are 60 companies that are blacklisted from the state of Florida, and one of them is Ben & Jerry's. And I do want to read a quote by Mr. DeSantis, and he basically said that, he's not happy. He's not happy with Ben & Jerry's legitimate stance with pulling out in the state of Israel. So he says, by placing Ben & Jerry's Fortune 500 parent company Unilever on our list of scrutinized companies that boycott Israel, Florida is sending a message to corporate America that will defend our strong relationship with the Jewish state. I will not stand idly by as woke corporate ideologies seek to boycott and divest from our ally Israel. Okay, so I hate when white people use the word woke. I feel like they just misunderstand the whole slang term. Like a lot of these politicians, woke is not something. We're talking about a 73 plus apartheid. We're talking about discrimination. We're talking about enslavement. We're talking about dictatorship. We're talking about just the inhumane treatment of Palestinians. We're talking about people that are treated worse than animals, that are treated equivalently to an ant on a wall. Hell, an ant on a wall has more freedom than a damn Palestinian in Palestine. And so these are, and I'm tired of these Republicans, these politicians getting mad at people who are like, for example, Meghan McCain. These stupid people that come from politics, they get mad at people who are taking an ideal stand, that is right. And that is only right, but also because, they are Jewish. And, so it's not like they are being anti-Semitic. It's not like they are being discriminatory towards their own nationality, because that is their nationality. That makes no sense. So, he stands with Israel. He's an ally to Israel, and he's calling it a woke ideology, which this has been going on long before he was born, Mr. DeSantis, and long before his parents were born. So it's not an ideology. It's a social issue. It's a discriminatory. It's not even a social issue. It's a Trump person times 20 type of issue. Like in terms of mentality, it's sickening. It's inhumane. It's crazy. Okay. So it's not a woke ideology. It's just like it's a high form of racial disparity where people do not have the power that is said and done here in the United States of America amongst the African American community, because they have power here with the whole social media stuff. Palestinians don't have that. They don't have that power. So I support Ben & Jerry's, baby. And when I'm off this damn diet, my whole freezer is going to be full of Ben & Jerry's. Okay. Now, in terms of COVID, the school board actually released a statement that were saying that kids have to wear masks regardless if they are vaccinated or not. And then DeSantis ended up sending out a forum out there and saying that if kids are being told to wear masks, then I'm going to pull out all the funding, all the grants for the school board, everything. And then so the school board ended up backtrack and retracted what they said. And so now kids don't have to wear masks. And mind you, this person is ignorant when it came to the pandemic. Like, they were throwing spring break parties in April during the beginning of this pandemic. The man was really stupid. He said something to the effect of he would rather have 2,000 20-year-olds in the hospital versus 500 elderly people because of the COVID being more affected towards elderly people. He does not want to close down because of small businesses. He does not want to close down because he said we've been through this before and it has not worked. Well, it has not worked because the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, and I don't want to politicize this, but everyone, we have not been consistent with this pandemic. We have not. It's not just him. It's everyone all over. Here in Louisiana, it's at a greater high than it was in the beginning when we were top tier with New York. So it's worse. Okay. And so now my governor, John Bel Edwards, governor of Louisiana, end up enforcing the masks. And this mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell, who I've been tweeting several months ago, you can go on Bourbon Street, okay, which is tourist street here in New Orleans, and it would be 300-400 people out there without a mask, okay? And in these damn bars. So I'm not surprised that we are in this situation. I predicted the situation already. I kept tweeting that heifer about those situations because she don't pay her damn taxes. She really don't care. She worried about having bikes, colorful bikes out in the street versus people wearing masks. So she needs to be out and pay her damn taxes. I can't stand her. And so it's been inconsistencies on both sides. It's not just the Republican Party. It's black people, it's brown people, it's whoever that's also hesitant to take this vaccine, and it's understandable. And so I'm tired of people just blaming one side. It's everybody. It's not a political issue. It's more of a historical issue. It's more of the lack of trust issue, the lack of leadership issue, and the mismessaging issue. And that's what the problem. So until maybe 10 years down the line, we find out what's really going on with this damn virus, people are still going to have an issue with listening to leadership because leadership has not proven to be leadership in this country. So make sure y'all go to your Walmart, you Winn-Dixie's, buy you some Ben & Jerry's. I actually was eating the Ben & Jerry's before I even knew they took this stand, because I like the ice cream, but baby, go buy it. They good. I mean, they look expensive, but I mean, $5 for but hey, I'll buy 10 of them bitches. Thank you, Ben & Jerry's. I really appreciate you for saying that your company do not stand with the values of what's occurring on the West Bank. And I really do appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Anyways, please do subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Leave the comments in below like I always do. Deuces. Yay!